Hello. Today we're going to be doing a whisper ramble video with some mic brushing. Anyway, just wanted to talk about some life stuff that's been going on, and to apologize for not posting any videos this past month. One of my cousins passed away, and then like a week after, one of my grandparents passed away. And then it kind of, I don't know, I wasn't too surprised by the news, but I think it's always kind of difficult when someone passes away, even if you're expecting it. So, I don't know. But, I am alright. Everything is fine. But that's kind of what shaped my March and early April. But looking to the future, I do want to post more. Sometimes I think I just need a reason other than myself to do things that I want to do. I know that sounds kind of silly. Like, if you want to do something, you should just do it. But sometimes it feels like, I guess, a little selfish. But I really like making ASMR videos. Honestly, it like helps calm me down even when I'm making them, which is quite nice because that's the whole reason I started watching ASMR in the first place. Because I have just like general anxiety. It's not too bad, but I used to have like panic attacks and stuff in high school. I still have them sometimes, but sometimes it's easier to I want to say mitigate. I feel like that's not the right word. Sometimes it's easier to like avoid them, curb them, if I like can calm myself down enough in advance, and ASMR helps a lot with that. So it is kind of nice that making videos also helps, I guess, calm me down in some ways. But anyway, what I was saying was sometimes it like feels a little selfish to work on videos that is like purely for my own enjoyment. So when I first started the channel, my first video ever was reading Hosier lyrics, and the only reason that I made that video in the spur of the moment was because Unreal Unearth had just dropped. So I told myself, I was like, Mila, you wanted to do this for so long. Hosier just dropped a new album. You can just make a video about this. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Like, you don't have to overthink it. And so I just made it and then uploaded it like as soon as I could. And then once I had the one video up, it was easier to make other videos because I was like, wow, I already have a video up, so I might as well make more videos. And for a while, I kind of got into a little bit of a groove. But then this past month, I definitely fell out of it. Even making these 2 videos, I don't know, part of me was like subconscious that like somehow in a month I had like forgotten how to make videos. I don't know. I know that doesn't even make sense, but I just get in my head about things sometimes. And so then the Taylor Swift album dropped, and it kind of felt like, this is gonna sound silly, but it kind of felt like permission to post another video. It's like, it's okay that I took time away, but I want to get back into it, and this is like a way for me to do that. I know that sounds silly, but I don't know, music has been a really big part of my life, and so I think some part of me sees it as like serendipitous or something. Like when I need it, it's like there for me in more ways than just being music. When I was a kid, I played the viola. I started when I was about 8 or 9, and I played up until I graduated high school, so I was like 17 or 18. But when I was in high school, it was like, I don't know, it felt like my whole world revolved around music, and part of me kind of hated that, but it's also like really nice, you know? It just got really stressful, and I hated how stressful it got, because it made me kind of hate music in a way, and I didn't want to hate music, because it was like something that was supposed to be fun and beautiful. And then when it became like everything, it was, I don't know, I felt like it was being tainted somehow. So, needless to say, I did other than that, I don't know. I haven't picked it up in months and months. But recently, I got an email that my orchestra teacher was retiring. And it made me think about my viola. It's just been sitting in its case. And I think I might open it again soon. I might try playing it again. I'm just so nervous because I know I'm gonna sound awful because I haven't done it in so long. But it is something I genuinely miss doing. I think I'm gonna end the video soon. I'm quite tired. Anyway, I have a couple of video ideas I want to film for upcoming weeks, but I'm not sure when I'll get around to making them. But, my sister